All right, everyone. It has been quite a while, but things were kind of changing, kind of reevaluating the project, how we're going to approach things, and we have settled on making a character creator because there's just a lot of different platforms we want to target, and we want to make it easy on people to be able to make characters. So I'm going to show you the rough draft of that as it currently is. So very rough, but we're using 3JS and well, just 3JS right now, but we might add some other stuff. But basically, we're going to open up a web browser. And this is the tab here. And you can see we have some really basic interface. So we have a little viewer here. We can look at our character. We have what's in our scene currently. So currently it's just the body. Excuse me. And over here, we can add or remove things. So this is Daro Thick. If I add Daro Thick again, nothing happens because we already have him in the scene. I can click Julian and it'll swap between the two. Bada boom. And swap back. And I cannot get rid of a body. There's always has to be at least one body in the scene, which I think makes sense because otherwise what, you're just exporting clothing, which might be useful, but that's not what we want to discuss right now. And then we also have some outfits. So I can slap on the hood, which is not adjusted to his body size just yet. Get rid of that. Bada boom. And I can add the priest robes, which does fit him quite well. And we're looking super good. So that's kind of the basis that we're going to be starting on for creating additional characters. Right now we do have the ability to export. Bada boom. And that should put it on our desktop in this folder. And yeah, 118 right there. I'll go ahead and make a new scene. And we'll do file, import. I believe it exports them as OBJ right now. So again, still a very rough draft, but you can see we've got the clothes. These should even have some textures if they were, maybe not. But we're able to get the export working. So this is all just kind of a proof of concept currently, but I think it's working pretty well. Also, what's very nice is that initially I was trying to make this character creator using Unity, the game engine, but that was proving to be really cumbersome. There's just, as it turns out, when you make a build, like an executable with Unity, it serializes and compresses things and gets them all set up for like being able to work as quickly as possible and to protect them. So it kind of has this inherent difficulty because you're not actually working directly with FBX files. You're not really technically working in a hierarchy that the Unity editor is going to recognize once you pull those assets out. So with this here, we're going to have this editor built on 3JS. We'll be able to make take all the assets that we're going to use. We're going to put them into a zip file. And then in that zip file, we'll put a JSON, which will give us like a map for how to put those assets together, what's needed, yada, yada. And then we'll have converters, one for VRChat, one for Arudo, etc., Unity, Unreal, all these converters on the other end that take that resource, look at the JSON to understand what needs to happen, and make the platform-specific version. At least that's the plan. But I think it's right now it's working. It's really nice to see that we're able to just add stuff so quickly. That really feels quite cool to me, honestly. And there's so much more. Like we'll soon be able to add hair and eyes and all these different things. Some things will be quite specific. There may be some features that I won't be able to add, just depending on how much computing power every person's browser has. So there are some kind of limits for the average consumer on what they might be able to do in Editor. But it certainly is going to speed up my ability to create characters. So I'm super excited by that because there was just so much going back and forth between different versions of Blender, different files, this and that. But now I have this tool that's sitting on top of all the disconnected parts, and it brings them together and exports them into a very usable format. So super pumped about that. And a lot more to do. I mean, this is maybe 0.5% of everything that needs to be done. So we're in the very early stages, but it already feels quite promising. Anyway, I know this probably feels a little different from my last update, but moving forward, we are going to be focusing on this character creator because it is what needs to happen. Anyway, catch you later. Bye.